Check this out. My call was perfect.
When the Washington Post sent CIA mouthpiece David Ignatius to warn Joe Biden not to run for re-election, we figured it was because they knew impeachment was going to air their dirty laundry. Or maybe the agents who deliver the president's briefings saw up close with their own eyes that Joe was on his last legs and there was a risk Kamala Harris was going to be in the Oval at any moment. The column rocked Washington, but it wasn't enough to jar loose the ticket. As of right now, Joe Biden is still running for the Democrat nomination, and things cannot get any worse.
Two of the great artists of our time representing the groundbreaking legacy of hip-hop in America, LL Cool J. By the way, that man's got biceps bigger than my thighs.
The president can't say LL Cool J and calls him boy. But if you don't vote for him, you ain't black. So the power brokers are going to have to give the big guy another nudge. Over the weekend,
Oh my God! Wow!
the Washington Post sent another shockwave through the Capitol. If Ignatius has left Brett Baer's Windsor tot unraveled for the first time, well, this blew Brett's whole blazer off. The Washington Post polled Donald Trump beating Joe Biden by 10 points.
Huh?
That's a Ronald Reagan 49-state landslide. So the president is trying to throw the guy he's running against in prison. Does it have anything to do with the polls?
Polls are polls, right? They are going to be all over the place.
Lies, lies, lies.
They're going to, they don't tell the whole story, actually. And that is just the way a poll is.
The polls actually do tell the whole story because Donald Trump was indicted this spring, the second he started polling ahead of Biden. And the media reported this new Washington Post poll like they were covering a funeral.
Martha, these numbers are simply staggering for the sitting president. 44% of people in this poll say they are not as well off as they were at the start of the Biden administration 2.5 years ago. Those are the worst numbers that we've seen in our ABC News Washington Post polling. But whether you believe that or not, look, there's a good chance that there's people just trying to send a message in the polling right now, given the other frustration we've seen.
Oh, there's someone sending a message. It's not just the country. The owner of the Washington Post, Jeff Bezos, is sending a message. The world's third richest man has joined the CIA to move the Democrat machine against Biden. But why? Bezos is a Democrat, right? Sure.
No.
But this is about business. Joe Biden ran on breaking up Amazon.
Elizabeth Warren has talked about trying to break up Amazon. Would you seek to break that company up?
I think Amazon should start paying their taxes. Okay? I don't think any company, I don't give a damn how big they are, the Lord Almighty should absolutely be in a position where they pay no tax and make billions and billions and billions of dollars. Come on, man. That's not the capitalist system.
Whoa, 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 whoa. Hey.
Besides going after the intelligence agencies, going after the monopolies is the most dangerous move in D.C. Tomorrow, we expect the Biden administration to file a massive antitrust lawsuit against Jeff Bezos.
You see where I'm coming from?
Biden's lawsuit against Amazon would bust up Bezos' $1.3 trillion empire. But Bezos has another reason to put Biden out to pasture. When Amazon workers tried to unionize, the president sided with Amazon workers.
Oh my God, that was so funny!
That's what unions are about, in my view, about providing dignity and respect for people who bust their neck. By the way, Amazon, here we come.
Watch. That was a declaration of war. And Bezos has gone behind Biden's back now and formed an alliance with the CIA. You don't pit the unions against Bezos and try to break up his monopoly without paying a price. And Bezos has had the CIA in his back pocket for years. Amazon and the intelligence agencies have billions in contracts. Software, cloud, surveillance. Amazon's board is stacked with former intelligence professionals ready to do Bezos' bidding. And Bezos wants Biden gone. That poll was a push poll, as in push Joe Biden off a cliff. And all the billionaires are in on it. Bill Gates says global warming's an exaggeration. Tim Cook says he's going to keep advertising on Twitter. Musk has moved right. And now Bezos has put a fatwa out on the big guy. Hillary knows the donor class better than anyone, can smell a loser, and is already blaming Biden's loss on Russia.
I don't think, despite all of the, deniers, there's any doubt that he interfered in our election. Part of the reason he worked so hard against me is because he didn't think that he wanted me in the White House. The Russians have proved themselves to be quite adept at interfering, and if he has a chance, he'll do it again.
Hillary, nobody wanted you in the White House. Nothing more irresistible to a politician than a TV camera. Put a camera in the middle of Capitol Hill, and Nancy Pelosi will drape herself in African tribal robes and even take a knee. Put a camera 10 yards from Mayor Pete's office, and Pete will even hop out of his gas-guzzling SUV and start riding his bike to work. Put a camera in Africa, and Jill Biden will go there just to watch him dance. And if you're Biden, you'll even walk through a war zone just to get a campaign photo. Cameras are like crack to these people. But once the cameras are off, it doesn't matter if your town got toxic train wrecked, like it did in East Palestine, Ohio. Those same people will act like you don't exist, like nothing ever happened. It's like everybody who's supposed to care is as far away from this town as they can be. They're not even going in for a photo op, not bothering to hand out bottled water and act like they care.
Oh, no.
No, it's like Joe and Jill are competing to see who can be further away from this toxic train wreck. Pete's only getting around now to talking about it.
What do you say to people who see the president's visit to Ukraine but don't see you or the president in East Palestine?
Well, the biggest thing I want residents of East Palestine to know is that they're not alone.
But these people have felt alone for weeks. When they were getting migraines, they were breaking out in hives, and the only answer they were getting was that everything was fine. So no surprise when someone finally does show up, they go wild. They get excited, just like they did today when Trump came to East Palestine.
Who does that?
Hey, hello, everybody. What's your specialty today?
How are you today? Nice to meet you.
Hello, everybody. That's a nice, beautiful looking group of people. So I know this menu better than you do. Okay? I probably know it better than anybody in here. We're going to take care of the fire department.
Okay.
We're going to take care of the police department. We're going to take care of them. Plus the people that are in here, they're going to get a nice free meal. All right? Thank you, everybody.
These people are just grateful someone is there for them. It means a lot that a former president would fly all the way from Florida, bring them pallets of fresh water, and buy everybody Big Macs. A move like this goes a long way with people. You know the phrase, half a life is just showing up. And that's what Americans want from our politicians. Show up, show that you care, say that you love them, and deliver. It's cold, it's raining, Trump showed up.
Dang. Oh, hey, thank you, sir. Thank you, sir.
What's your message to Joe Biden before you leave?
Thank you.
Oh.
Get over here.
And Biden should have been there 2 weeks ago, along with Pete, where they should have been handing out pallets of water and drinking the tap water they said was fine. If not that, at least show up and listen to him.
The thing that upsets me most is because I've heard it numerous times of referring to us as the low-class people of East Palestine.
Yes, ma'am.
We're not low-class. We're not stupid. We weren't
Yes,
born
ma'am.
last night.
Buckle up, baby. Are you kidding me?
I know that chemical's laying on the top of the ground, and until we get a heavy rain or heavy snow and it pulls that down into the ground, our wells aren't affected right now. You can test wells all day long. It doesn't matter. It hasn't reached there yet.
But Mayor Pete's taking some personal time.
So uncivilized.
What do you have to say to the folks in Ohio, East Palestine, who are suffering right now?
Well, I'd refer you to about a dozen interviews I've given today, and if you'd like to arrange a conversation, be sure to reach out to our press office, but I'm not going to have that conversation with you. Just walk
You don't have a message for them?
Inconceivable.
I do, and I shared it with the press many times today. I'd refer you to those comments.
Would you mind sharing it with us?
No, I'm going to refer you to the comments that I made to the press because right now I'm taking some personal time and I'm walking down the street.
Are you going down there?
What's that?
Are you going down there at all?
Yeah, I am.
When are you going?
I'll share that when I'm ready.
Okay,
not talking on the
thank you.
street. Can I get a photo of you?
Yeah.
Why did Pete take a picture of the woman? Is she now on the no-fly list? I mean, it feels like the whole country's on the no-fly list, the way you're running the airports. The point is, you don't bother Pete when he's out on a date with Chasten. He's taking some personal time. Pete's off the clock. And you better respect that, even if it means people might get cancer.
Interesting.
Pete's only going to East Palestine tomorrow because he got shamed into it. The White House can't afford not to go when Trump's out there having Big Mac attacks, especially since it took him days to even start pretending to care.
Pow.
And I just have to ask, because it did take you a couple of days to respond publicly, or several days to respond publicly to this particular incident. Do you wish you would have spoken out sooner?
Yes, I was focused on just making sure that our folks on the ground were all set, but could have spoken sooner about how strongly I felt about this incident, and that's a lesson learned for me.
Don't worry, Pete promises he'll care the next time there's a chemical explosion, as long as it doesn't conflict with his personal time. We know how needy Chasten can be. He promises to go on TV sooner to let people know that this is the kind of thing that happens all of the time.
There's clearly more that needs to be done because while this horrible situation has gotten a particularly high amount of attention, there are roughly 1,000 cases a year of a train derailing. Obviously, they have levels of severity, but where all of that points us to is a need to continue to raise the bar.
Lies! The lie!
Don't blame him for not worrying about something that happens 1,000 times a day. I mean, he was swamped with more important things the week of the crash, like going to Texas to attack racist bridges. He didn't have time to fix rickety railroads. The week after the crash, he was busy bemoaning white construction workers.
We have heard way too many stories from generations past of infrastructure where you got a neighborhood, often a neighborhood of color, that finally sees the project come to them, but everyone in the hard hats on that project looking like, doing the good-paying jobs, don't look like they came from anywhere near the neighborhood.
Right. We could have used some of those white construction workers to fix that rail line. Pete was so busy fighting environmental racism that he ignored a working-class white town that got rocked by toxins. Now, tomorrow he's going to tell East Palestine that he cares about him. But is it too little, too late? Primetime would like to deliver a message, though, to the town of East Palestine tonight. Be respectful to Mayor Pete. You can tell him how you feel.
I heard that. I wish I didn't hear that, but I just heard that.
But be respectful. We know you're angry. Those cameras are going to be rolling.
Tonight, a group of Republican senators are demanding a 72-hour review period before the Senate votes on any border deal. As Fox News learns some of the details, Fox News correspondent Lucas Tomlinson has a reaction from the White House. LT.
Well, election year politics will factor heavily into the fate of this Senate border bill, to put it mildly. The House Speaker says it's dead on arrival. Donald Trump says he doesn't support it.
Oh my God.
Here's Tennessee Senator Marsha Blackburn.
The president could close that border if he wanted to close the border. He will not close the border. We can pass all the laws there are. And if they are not going to follow the law, then why are we passing something?
Now, here's what's in this proposed Senate border plan. Mandatory detention of all single adults, mandatory shutdown of the border once the average daily migrant encounters hits 5,000. And the shutdown would not lift until daily encounters reduced to less than 3,750 encounters per day. And in short, here's the plan of how many migrants would be allowed into the U.S. under the Senate deal: 150,000 per month and 1.8 million per year. That's about the population of Phoenix. President Biden reacting in a statement saying, quote, "For too long, we all know the border's been broken. It's long past time to fix it. What's been negotiated would, if passed into law, be the toughest and fairest set of reforms to secure the border we've ever had in our country. It would give me, as president, a new emergency authority to shut down the border when it becomes overwhelmed." Many Republicans think the border's already overwhelmed based on the historic number of migrant encounters last month.
Victory cannot come soon enough. Under crooked Joe Biden, our country is dying. Our country is dying. Our border is open and gushing. It's a big gushing wound.
That's stupid. Use your common sense.
We have no choice. Within moments of my inauguration, we will begin the largest domestic deportation operation in American history. No choice. We have no choice because this is not sustainable.
We need to seal the border altogether. It is absurd to say that 5,000 people a week is acceptable. I've stopped it in the past.
A recent ABC News poll says only 18% of the country approves of the job Biden is doing on the border.
Oh my God!
A new Gallup poll says Biden's approval rating last year was the lowest of any president since Jimmy Carter. After skipping the Iowa caucuses and the New Hampshire primary, President Biden will be on the ballot for the first time in South Carolina, where he will be this weekend.
And as the Senate border deal shakes out, Elon Musk is blasting Biden in front of his tens of millions of followers on X. Trump also weighing in on Truth Social, posting, quote, "There is a 100% chance that there will be a major terror attack because of the border crisis." Okay, let's do a little lightning round here, Jason, shall we? On day one of this administration, who ended all border construction?
I don't get it.
Yeah, it was President Joe Biden.
Right?
Look, the best president in my lifetime was President Trump, and he did it with the existing laws. Lock down the border, get rid of the rewards and incentives, reject amnesty. Why don't you just try enforcing the current law?
Whoa.
And the other thing that's just driving me nuts is that the president of the United States right now will not talk to the Border Patrol. They haven't talked in like 2.5 years. Talk to Brandon Judd, who's in charge of the Border Patrol Union. Do what the Border Patrol does. You don't need this other piece of legislation. If it was such a great piece of legislation, how come it's not out there in the light of day for all of us to read it? This thing is so fundamentally wrong. It should be wrong and should be rejected just from the fact that they're touting and selling it. But they're not showing you the text.
Day one also stopped to remain in Mexico. Day one also reinstated catch and release. Okay, let's read that tweet from Elon Musk. Quote, "No laws need to be passed. All that is needed is an executive order to require proof before granting an asylum hearing. That is how it used to be."
Doesn't sound right.
Lisa, so why don't they just do it if they're as serious as a prison fight when it comes to stopping this flow at the border, which suddenly, after 3 years after taking office, the Biden administration is taking seriously because they see the polls?
Well, I mean, this is what he wants to happen. That's why he's not going to stop it. I mean, he started this crisis with his pen. He could end this crisis with his pen. And instead of doing that, what the Senate wants to do is codify this invasion into law. I mean, you saw those numbers, 150,000 illegal immigrants a month, over 1.8 million a year. That's an invasion in perpetuity if the Senate gets its way. So that's what he wants. And I love how he says, oh, I need this bill so I can shut down the border if it's overwhelmed. What do you call over 6 million illegal immigrants that have come into the country? More than the population of 33 states, right? He already has the emergency authority to shut this thing down if he wanted to. But not only does he not want to, but he's fighting states like Texas who are trying to get the job done. So this is going exactly as planned. This is what Joe Biden wanted.
What am I looking at right now? Tommy, I want to get your reaction to Hakeem Jeffries. He's the House Minority Leader. He's blaming, ding, 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 Republicans for the border crisis.
At a certain point, we are going to have to publicly call the question of our Republican colleagues in a variety of ways when it comes to doing what is right for America's national security interests and for fixing our broken immigration system.
Come on, try getting it out. Try getting it out.
I'll get it out.